December 13th, 1976. Rosia Montana, Romania. Archaeologists discovered something shocking beneath the ground as they were unearthing a buried mining area. It was an enormous skeleton, too big to be an average human skeleton. The giant was lying on the ground with his legs gathered to one side. Following the development of excavation equipment, the discovery of giant remains has increased rapidly. By taking a brief glance at the map showing giant remains discoveries in the United States, we can see that the number of discoveries is huge. Giant researchers argue that despite the huge number of archaeological discoveries, people still do not believe in giants due to a worldwide cover-up. The Smithsonian Institution of the U.S. had to go to court for artificially destroying the remains of thousands of giants. The Smithsonian Institution, known simply as the Smithsonian, is a group of museums, education, and research centers run by the U.S. government. Established in 1846, it is a living witness of American history to this day. The American Institution of Alternative Archaeology, or AIAA, claimed that the Smithsonian engaged in historical cover-ups of giant remains and evidence. In response, the Smithsonian denied the allegations and sued the AIAA for defamation. However, a whistleblower, a high-ranking curator who had worked at the museum for a long time before quitting, revealed that the cover-up allegations were true. The former curator testified that the museum's underground warehouse has a large number of hidden giant remains and grave relics, which are being destroyed by the institution. He secretly took a 1.3-meter-long human femur with him after quitting his job. This was presented as evidence in court. As the U.S. Supreme Court formally accepted the femur as legal evidence, the Smithsonian had no choice but to admit that they had destroyed thousands of giant remains. We destroyed the remains of giants to protect the chronology of conventional human evolution. While these giant remains are a big discovery for the field of archaeology, they are considered as a large whole as well. No one can provide a clear explanation on the birth or existence of giants. If we look at giants from an evolutionary perspective, we can conclude that either the existence of giants or the theory of evolution is false. Giant remains are treated as ooparts, out-of-place artifacts by archaeologists whose evidence has always been denied. The former curator, who submitted the giant femur to the court, had reportedly wrote a letter on his deathbed, confirming the Smithsonian's undercover operations. It is a terrible thing that is being done to the American people. We are hiding the truth about the forefathers of humanity, our ancestors, the giants who roamed the earth as told in the Bible and ancient texts of the world. According to this letter, the Smithsonian Underground Warehouse is located outside Washington, D.C., and the giant remains and relics are stored in the 4th floor basement. He also mentioned in his letter that the underground warehouse is shaped like a star, where each floor is divided into 5 sections. Due to the large number of giant remains, they used up the entire floor. Despite having destroyed thousands of them, there was still an overflowing number of remains. Finally, after over a century of lies, the truth about our giant ancestors shall be revealed to the world. The giants discovered in various places all over the world, including the US, differ slightly in size and characteristics depending on the region. Sometimes the characteristics do overlap, however, namely their double teeth, red hair, and 6 fingers and 6 toes. There is a legend among the Paiute tribe, an indigenous tribe of the US state of Nevada. It is a legend of red-haired giants called the Sitika. Sitika itself means tree eaters in the language of the Paiutes. The theory is that they were named as such due to their massive physique that resembled trees. Unfortunately, this was dismissed as a mere local legend and did not receive much attention from the public. However, John Reed, an engineer who was investigating caves to open up new mines, revealed a shocking fact. Giant remains had actually been found in Lovelock Cave, the same cave mentioned in the Paiute tribe legend. Some giants were mummified, and it was further confirmed that they had red hair. On top of that, massive pairs of shoes presumed to have been worn by the giants were discovered in the cave as well. Shortly after the discovery, the University of California, Berkeley, and the Nevada Historical Society sent investigators to unearth additional artifacts. After taking measurements, the giant's height is estimated to be around 2.4 to 3 meters. Now the remains are on display at the Humboldt Museum in Nevada. Subsequently, a 3.7-meter-tall giant mummy with 6 toes was discovered in Ireland, and a large number of 2-meter-tall, double-toothed giant remains were discovered in the Midwestern United States. Many of them had 6 fingers or toes. Not only that, but there is also a case in which an exploration team reported to a historical society that they had witnessed red-haired giants running while they were investigating the Amazon basin. Interestingly, the Kandahar giant I discussed about in a previous video also had red hair, double teeth, as well as 6 fingers and toes. Scholars who believe in the existence of giants also speculated that these red-haired giants are the last surviving giants on Earth, and that they had been scattered all over the world for some reason. In 2007, 2-meter-tall species remains were found in Morocco. As we all know, a person with the height of 2 meters is not classified as a giant. The reason why the remains were reported as a giant was because analysis showed that they belonged to a child. This leads us to question, did giants truly exist? This has been Strange Night.